Brought to you by Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority.
A very good evening once again. Welcome to the second edition of UBC News Tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa, and this is what we have for you this time round. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Minister of Education and Sports Janet Kataha Museveni have paid tribute to the late Queen of the United Kingdom Elizabeth Alexandra II at the residence of the British High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Kate Airi. The Commissioner, Kate, and other embassy officials received the head of state and Mrs. Janet Museveni. The President and First Lady signed the condolence book and extended sympathies to the family of the late Queen and the British people on behalf of Ugandans. In his condolence message, the President emphasized that Queen Elizabeth has for more than 70 years not only been head of state for the UK but also head of the Commonwealth countries. The metamorphosis that saw the British Empire transform into the Commonwealth of independent and equal states headed by Her Majesty and now His Majesty King Charles III was a phenomenon. President Museveni said that the use of English language in all Commonwealth countries is an asset that should be maximally used for the prosperity of the billions Commonwealth citizens through investment, trade, tourism, and anti-terrorism. The Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, thanked God for blessing the late Queen with a productive life and saluted the Queen for serving selflessly in her homeland and the entire family of Commonwealth. She added that Uganda will always remember her last visit to the country, leading to the 2007 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, also known as CHOGM. The British High Commissioner, Her Excellency Kate Airi, told the President and First Lady that the Queen Elizabeth died 2 days after appointing the new UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. Police and other security agencies have launched investigations into the assassination threats against the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Anita Among. A police spokesperson, Fred Nanga, says that the Directorate of Crime Intelligence and the Office of the Speaker are working hand in hand with Parliament to hasten vigilance around the Parliament building and the Speaker's movements.
Last week, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, told the Parliament that there are some suspected assassins trailing her.
Up to now,
Madam Speaker,
my car is still followed up to now. And whoever thinks is going to assassinate Anita, I was put in this chair by God and I will serve until I get tired.
Police and other security agencies have launched a special investigation file to substantiate assassination threats against the Speaker. Investigations are presumed protective without disclosing the progress.
Our team of CID experts from the Special Investigation Division, in close coordination with other intelligence, investigative and operational teams from sister security agencies, investigating the extent of the threats. They are also working with the Office of the Right Honourable Speaker to identify the source of the threats directed towards her.
Security cameras mounted around Parliament premises. Security have reinforced vigilance around Parliament. All roads around Parliament have security personnel.
There is an increased level of alertness by the security at Parliament. The Parliamentary Police Unit has intensified its protective arrangements.
The Counter-Terrorism Department of Police is scrutinizing the Speaker's bodyguards following rumors about her chief of security escape to the US.
Our Directorate of Counter-Terrorism continues to monitor the security detail of the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and it continues to do so to ensure that the all-round protection of bodyguards stay vigilant at all levels of movement.
Meanwhile, security wants the chairperson of Buko district, Chelimo Julius, to answer allegations of aggravated defilement. It has been established that Chelimo Julius has been defiling a 16-year-old student and was reported while attempting to traffic the girl to an unknown location.
He caused for the disappearance of the victim and harbored her at the home of Chemtai Caroline, a cousin sister in Budaka district, where he would occasionally go pick her up, go into a lodging facility, defile the victim, and then transport her back.
In the ongoing investigations, police have found more 12 grounds of robbery and burglary linked to the Kampala socialite Olimu Charles, known as Sipapa, who was arrested last week.
With the Directorate of Forensics has now established 12 other cases that are linked to Sipapa. This follows his fingerprints and DNA samples, which were run in our databases, and the scientifically matched samples that we picked from 12 other scenes. This implies he was the perpetrator or one of the perpetrators at the scene of all the criminal incidents in Bugorobi, Kabaragala, Kira Road, Jinja Road, Chiwatule, Ntinda, and Chanja Jomai.
Robbery and burglary cases against Papa are investigated from way back in 2014 to date. This does not include gun misuse against different opposition politicians in the 2021 general elections. Abdul Nasili Lubwama and Samba Juma, UBC News.
Parliament has dissociated itself from claims of grabbing buildings around their building. The Director of Communications at Parliament, Chris Obore, says that proposals of obtaining the buildings neighboring parliamentary premises is to create space for Parliament staff. Obore revealed that the intentions are not in any way connected to the security threats as claimed by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among.
It is a long-lived discussion which has continued to surface over the media regarding Parliament of Uganda's quest for creating space to staff and other related activities. But media reports that Parliament is forcefully taking over the buildings neighboring its premises, including Development House, Lands Ministry, Constitutional Affairs Ministry, Prison Service Building, among others. The Director of Communication at Parliament, Chris Obore, says there is an ongoing discussion with relevant stakeholders.
So it is not a grab. All that is government property. Government reserves the right to decide how they should be used. We'll talk about government here. We're talking about Ministry of Lands. We're talking about KCCA that is in charge of the city and it is infrastructure and it is plan. We're talking about the president. He's the head of government. So Parliament does not just wake up and say, bring. We get a discussion.
Obore also refutes allegations that some of the road streets near Parliament will be blocked and taken over.
There has been that proposal on table on what to do with the traffic near Parliament. Especially it came at the time of those, whenever there are these bombings, terrorist attacks. That's when the security discusses the matter.
Raising dust was a recent statement by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, who made public allegations of being hunted by unknown criminals, putting her life in danger. Chris Obore debunks claims, saying that the Parliament developments are not in any way connected to the said claims.
The issue of the Speaker's security is a matter of government. And the government knows how to handle security. A security matter cannot be dispatched by a civilian like Chris Obore.
This also comes at a time when police spokesperson Fred Inanga has confirmed investigations on claims by the Speaker of Parliament on death threats and her security detail.
In addition, our Directorate of Counter-Terrorism continues to monitor the security detail of the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament and it continues to do so to ensure that the all-round protection of bodyguards stay vigilant at all levels of movement.
Daniel Mugoya, Philip Aguta, UBC News.
The 7th of September this year will forever remain a dark day in the minds of the residents of Kasika Village, Rukoki Sub-County, Kasese District. It's on this fateful day that 16 people died when mudslides swept through homes in the middle of the night, taking down stream helpless lives, most of whom were children and women.
The scene is still covered with huge and household property lost during the disaster. The family of Muzei Masereka lost 4 members of his family in the disaster. Masereka narrowly escaped and he is now hospitalized at St. Mary's Hospital in Kasese municipality. Nursing wounds he sustained as he pulled himself out of the mud. Residents still gather at the mudslide epic center of Kasika Trading Center with a hope to locate the body of Salavini, but fail due to lack of proper machinery to remove the heavy debris.
So we request the government that if possible, they can still bring for us one more car to rescue and see and discover the body.
ICT and National Guidance Minister Dr. Chris Baliomusi promised to work with UNRWA and relevant authorities to search for the missing body.
So now we have kwatero muranga aba twiro munshozi murugeyo wabo initaka hansaba ni rugeyo ofuruke kuri mugwe muhingeyo nemiti.
UNRWA, because UNRWA has an excavator here, they should provide an excavator so that they assist these Vataka to get that body which is still there.
Another resident, Bwambale Semu, appealed to government to compensate vanilla garden owners.
We are also requesting the government that even for us who have survived narrowly, but who have lost our crops, which were our survival.
Irene Faith Nantongo, Stephen Kalisha, UBC News.
Ministry of Health is to roll out the second dose of measles rubella vaccine in the routine immunization schedule starting with October this year. The Uganda National Expanded Program on Immunization Manager Dr. Alfred Riwale says that the second dose is to be taken by children at 1.5 years as well as those below 4 years of age that have never been immunized.
The second dose of measles rubella vaccine eliminates measles completely in Uganda. Experts say that this will boost the child's immunity, thus protecting them fully against the virus.
Now, when you give the second dose after 1 year, those who were partially immunized will now be fully immunized. Those who were not seroconverted will also now be fully converted because the immune system is mature to make use of the vaccines to protect the child.
The ministry will sensitize communities and calls upon parents to take their children for immunization.
Children who are 4 years below are brought for measles vaccination. Those who are between 1.5 years and 4 years will be getting their second dose if they had already gotten the first during the routine immunization. And those who did not get it from 9 months to 1 year will get their dose, that will be their first dose, and they will be required to come later for their second dose. So,
with 1.9 million children born in Uganda annually, the ministry has increased the age catchment through engagement with Kenya, Ghana, which have already introduced the life course approach to ministering vaccines.
With them, how has it been able to introduce those other life courses beyond 1 year vaccination and how that has been implemented for us to have collaborations and learn. So that's the beauty of coming to meet with everybody.
Acting Director CDC Uganda is optimistic that the routine immunization will immensely improve the health of the children.
rapidly develop them, create demand from the public to receive the vaccine, create all the systems in order to get these vaccines out as soon as possible, right? So it's just an example. We don't know what the next emerging threat will be, but we need to be ready for it, right? And so the investments that we have in the routine immunizations platform, that's going to lead to a better capacity to respond to emerging public health threats as they come along.
Miriam Wumcha, UBC News.
October Bidel Musaba Gardens Ebukono, October Mukaga Millennium Gardens Sazibuaya, October Munanaji Montelembara, 10 October, 40 Poto Muchisawe, Abidim B October, Bale Sports Center, Umtualukumo, Yebem Tuale Santo, a meza million yemo, Wababa Tualukumia, Abana tickets of Akosa M10 Momo, Bajagusa Sulan Comitano, Binamina Romo Center, Hiva Motors, Galaxy FM, Radio 4, Kawina War, TN.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Ooh, they look nice.
Thank you, honey.
Yo!
You guys gather, it's going down. Gather! Gather!
Yo! I tell you what. Yo!
Airtel is giving you bigger data bundles for the same price. Dial star 175 hash to choose from our range of bigger Chillax bundles that don't expire. Bigger monthly bundles, all for the same price. And stay connected longer to loved ones. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Beat the back-to-school hustle today. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Dial star 185 hash. Select option 6, school fees.
Select to pay using Bridge Schools, School Pay or Beg Pay.
Select option 1, pay fees. Enter student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
We can't tolerate sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable in our school.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back from the break, and thank you so much for keeping it with us. Buganda Road Magistrates Court has acquitted Kawempe North MP Mohammed Ssegirinya with charges of incitement of violence. Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu, in dismissing the case against Ssegirinya, said the prosecution failed to adduce evidence to court that implicated Ssegirinya.
Tumuhira Vincent and Ario Robert. Kawempe North Member of Parliament Mohammed Ssegirinya has appeared before Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu of Buganda Road Magistrates Court via video conferencing to receive a ruling on whether he has a case to answer on charges of incitement to violence. Unlike other proceedings, the accused's counsel was absent in court. Prosecution presented 3 witnesses in this matter: ASP Smeta Flavia, attached to Mini Price Police Station, Assistant ASP Nahamanya David, and Detective Corporal Elias Kidampola. Evidence from the 3 witnesses found Legislator Mohammed Ssegirinya with no case to answer.
At her level as an assistant superintendent of police, these contradictions made her whole evidence unreliable. No reasonable court that, after directing its mind to the provisions of the law under which the accused was charged, and the worthless evidence that she adduced before this court, would convict the accused person. I accordingly find that by the time the prosecution closed their case, there was no prima facie case made out against the accused. There is therefore no case made out against the accused person to state him to be put on his defense. The case against the accused is accordingly dismissed.
Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu said the evidence presented to court cannot pin the accused to have committed the offense. Court acquitted Mohammed Ssegirinya with the charge of incitement to violence. Relatives and friends of Ssegirinya were pleased with the ruling.
Bandabye ng'omwana wange omusango guno kugobeddwa kubanga era nnamanya nti omwana wange talina musango. Kati katusabe n'ogwekkololo gube nga nagwo guggwa.
I feel so glad, I feel so great, I feel so amazed today because the case has been dismissed. It has been a long time after more than 1 year running here and there, moving in each and every court.
So all these cases are always trumped up. Unfortunately, these cases take a lot of time. They take money, they take resources, they take time. Our lawyers are always running up and down in one court to another and all that. So you find that you have all these challenges. But ultimately, we are glad that this decision has been decided.
Legislator Mohammed Ssegirinya was arrested on 22nd March 2021 at Mini Price in Kampala on allegations of staging a protest against the outcome of the 2021 presidential elections and the arrest of NUP supporters during the elections. Although court acquitted Ssegirinya, he still has other offences of incitement to violence. Via his Facebook page in the same court, terrorism, murder and attempted murder in the International War Crimes Division Court. Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
The Minister for Information, Communications Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, has advised Kasese people living on the Rwenzori mountain ranges to move to lower lands so as to avert death caused by slides. At least over 40 people have died in flood and landslides caused by torrential rains since 2013, the recent being the loss of 16 people who perished at Kasika village, Rukoki sub-county, still in Kasese.
Addressing Christians at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Kasese Municipality, Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, warned of dangers as the rains continue in the Rwenzori Mountains highlands. The minister was representing the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, at a fundraising drive to accomplish a community better living center building in the center in Kasese town. The building houses several projects, including a community radio station run by the Adventist Church.
I will make cash contribution of 3 million shillings. Then mubalize n'umugenyi mukuru Speaker wa Parliament angambire Honorable Firigo Kambale Member of Parliament for Kasese Municipality, Waraike Kampala, over Nyencha, over Tuesday or Wednesday, ogende mu office ya speaker, aja kupereza milioni makunyabiri.
The minister, accompanied by junior ministers, Godfrey Kabyanga, the State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, and his counterpart, Kawiecho Fatogabye, for Kampala capital city, were in Kasese district to deliver the president's condolence message to bereaved families who lost 16 members in the recent mudslide disaster. The president contributed 5 million shillings to each people dead and 1 million shillings to every hospitalized victim. Minister Bario Musi delivered the speaker's pledge of 20 million shillings and contributed 3 million shillings towards the completion of the center.
We came to represent the president and the government to express condolences to the families that lost their dear ones, and as the Member of Parliament, the Honorable Mujungu, had said, the President of Uganda contributed 5 million shillings to facilitate the burial of the 16 people who died. 15 have been buried, 1 is not yet found. But the President gave 5 million shillings per each person who died, the 16, and also 1 million to support those who have injuries and they are admitted in our hospitals here.
The State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, said as situations change every day, life has become unpredictable.
God has lifted me, and I'm very happy that God has made me what I am, and I will continue serving God. I now don't serve human beings who eat food. I serve God. But all the things I'm doing for God, I'm also doing for his people. And my religion is love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Stephen Kalisha compiled this report.
The King of Toro, His Royal Highness Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru IV, has called upon his subjects to promote peace and their culture. This was at the 27th coronation anniversary of the Mukama that was celebrated at the Karuzika Palace in an event known as Mpango. We have details to this.
The coronation celebration started with an interreligious church service to dedicate the event before the King of Kings. In his sermon, the Bishop of Rwenzori Diocese prayed for peace and asked the kingdom to fast-track the review of the kingdom constitution.
Kabimezile dini tugonza kwa comment wetu kila saizo kama wetu kama ya constitution ya Toro yakaba suspended abakasoni bata review process so msaba review ege kwa wango nuko review kama biterekera akoito ngabatungwa kandi religious leaders bazikala mtikanya kutekeye abantu basikangana mu guhaba ndabasikomrangana n'ibyo kusana biti wito mukama salango kirungi.
According to King Oyo, as the kingdom celebrates the 200 years of existence, it will mainly focus on skills development for the youth, health, agriculture, and tourism, among others.
Mubusumi obukwija obukama bwina entegeka yokutandika youth skilling and incubation centers mu district zona zobukama bwa Toro. Kule bawa mara byokulema nokulisa nkatandikaho entegeka yokwegesa emyenda ya Toro ebyobulimi nobulisa ebyobukugu amataka agagalihire bagakeha nabweki nintwija kwegesa abantu kukozesa amataka amateito beitu baihamentasha enungi.
The king urged his subjects to cooperate towards development and avoid racial discrimination.
Ningonza kuterera abantu ba Toro kwataniza tufushe kwecwamcwamu nuko tutwale ensitu ya Toro meiso libawenzaire muleke kutemangana entege
The Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Matia Kasese, on behalf of the President, asked Toro Kingdom to cooperate in the fight against poverty through government parish development model.
Mugende mukwatagane n'aba LCs banyu turolengu o Uganda amashege tukakozeki tugabingire obo busega amashege tumugakenga kurungi abatura tumukire tigaba amashege obo naku
Different from previous coronations, heavy rains disrupted the event for hours before the king performed the royal court coronation ritual. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
We take another short break. It's UBC News Tonight.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy. Happiness comes to us in many places. It's in knowing the mosquito net keeps our children healthy. The wife having the support of her husband. It's in deciding together when to have a baby. And for some, focusing on what's important right now. So what's your happiness? Make the right health decisions to ensure happiness for you and your family.
Beat the back-to-school hustle today. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees.
Select to pay using Bridge Schools, School Pay or Beg Pay.
Select option 1, pay fees. Enter student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Thank you so much for watching. We now go straight to business news tonight. African airlines must prioritize the implementation of the single African air transport market charter and open skies actions if the continent wants to recover a fair share of the global market. This call was made by Rwanda's President Paul Kagame during the opening of the 6th Aviation Africa Summit at the Kigali Convention Center in Rwanda. Samuel Sendono has this.
Aviation and key decision makers are meeting in Kigali, Rwanda for the 6th Aviation Africa Summit, running under the theme, Africa's New Dawn, Aviation Resilience, Growth in the Post-COVID-19 Era. The summit at Kigali Conference Center was opened by Rwanda's President, Paul Kagame. President Kagame highlighted that the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the aviation industry on the African continent heavily, and robust recovery strategies ought to be sought.
In the wider context of the African Continental Free Trade Area, open skies help to link our businesses to regional and global supply chains, boosting trade and investment. This is why the full implementation of the single African air transport market must remain a top priority.
The same message was carried by the guest speaker at the event, Qatar Airways CEO Akbar Al-Bakar.
The aim should not be increasing the number of protected hubs or contributing to the wealth of a few airlines and their alliance partners at the cost of hundreds of millions of other Africans. On the contrary, the vision should be about liberalization, freedom, collaboration, and partnership.
Africa Airlines CEOs, including Uganda Airlines CEO Jennifer Bamturaki, also addressed a panel discussion focusing on how they can combat high costs of operation and restrictions that hinder intra-Africa expansion.
The strategy has changed in the sense that we are now looking at launching routes that will help our profitability plans. We look at being profitable in about 5 to 7 years. We were supposed to have done 21 routes by the end of 2021. We've only done 11. So there are a lot of processes in this. Then we also talked about opportunities in Africa. There was an issue of the Pan-African airline. Is Uganda Airlines interested? And the answer was, well, we need to see its framework. How does it work?
According to the focus, air traffic in Africa will achieve full recovery to 2019 levels between late 2023 and the beginning of 2025. Globally, cargo is already operating at 9% above pre-crisis levels, and in Africa at 23%. Samuel Sanono, UBC News, in Kigali, Rwanda.
Kasese! Get the 4G smartphone of your dreams today and pay as you use. Choose from the Tecno Pop 5 Pro, Tecno Pova Neo, Samsung A03 Core or Nokia C10 and pay conveniently in daily, weekly and monthly installments for a period of a year using Airtel Money. You will also enjoy free 3GB and 100% bonus data on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months. Visit any D-Lite shop or select Airtel Money branches countrywide and get one today. Terms and conditions apply. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Uganda Badminton Association has launched 2 para-badminton tournaments to happen simultaneously this September at the Lugogo M10 Indoor Arena. The Uganda International Para-Badminton Tournament will be the first, kicking off on Tuesday the 13th of September, followed by the Africa Para event starting on Monday the 19th of September. 185 athletes from 19 countries will be participating in the Uganda International Para Badminton in 5 categories, including men and women singles, men and women doubles, alongside the mixed doubles. In the Africa Para event, competition will be more in such as wheelchair, standing and short stature. These are world ranking tournaments and also qualifiers to the World Championships and Paralympics in Paris 2024.
Yesterday and today it has been classification to identify what class a player can be in. And of course, para badminton is a bit stretching. That's why you see in Africa, it's only Uganda that is having the capacity to host, because of the events. There are very many categories, of course, with many events. The events are usual, but the categories are many.
This tournament is really very, very good for me because I hope I'm going to make a point for the World Championship, then for World Paralympic Games 2020 in Paris. Yeah.
The Cricket Cranes, Uganda's national men's cricket team, have been flagged off to South Africa to participate in the inaugural T20 Cricket Africa Cup to be played in the city of Benoni between the 15th to the 21st of September 2022. Uganda will play in Group A with Botswana, Ghana and Mozambique in hopes of becoming the first Africa Cup champions.
The Cricket Cranes are set to take part in the first edition of the T20 Cricket Africa Cup to contend for the African Champions title as well as a T20 international status. The tournament that will be played in Benoni, South Africa will see Uganda go up against 8 countries to claim the top prize.
Mostly it's to get some preparation. As you're aware, we have a big qualifier coming up next year, March, the World Cup qualifier. So it's important for us to have a look at the players that we have and give guys some opportunities to put their hands up and stake their claim for a place in the team. So it will be good preparation for us as we begin our journey towards that World Cup qualifier.
The Ugandan team will be with usual players like Simon Sesasi, Dels Muhumza, Frank Nsuga, among others. Most notably, the team will be with 4 senior debutants from the under-19 team, players Pascal Murungi, Munil Ismail, Joseph Baguma and Elpish Ramjani. The team captain Brian Masaba is also returning to the team after suffering an injury in the previous tournament.
Now we thought we should drop in a few of the junior players in because we're missing a few senior players who are Ronak and Dinesha in India.
It's very important for us to continue to build depth. We do have a number of tournaments coming up, so we're just trying to have a look at all the players that we have, but also keeping one eye on the future. So it's important for these guys to start playing now so that when the big games come around, they're ready. So
it feels so great, and I think it's a way of appreciating what I've been doing, the hard work I've been putting in, and like the efforts. It's like recognizing the efforts I've been putting in.
Uganda will play in Group A alongside Botswana, Ghana and Mozambique. If it finishes in either of the top 2 positions, it will progress to the semi-finals against a team from Group B. Other countries in the tournament are Malawi, Nigeria, Cameroon and neighbors Kenya. Grace Joskemgisa, UBC News.
And that's how we close it tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Let's catch you tomorrow in our other programs. Do not miss the next one. Bye-bye and good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say the full register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance.